Albert Granda here with Mick Weltz. Mick is in Indiana, and he has some interesting pizza stories. Mick, tell me how you started in the pizza business.
It started all the way when I was in my hometown of Cincinnati, and a young boy, 14 years old, and my first job was with Buddy LaRosa. It's a $180 million business now, but I worked in his second store, and he was learning how to build a business, and I was learning how to build a basic pizza.
Wow. That's Buddy's?
Buddy LaRosa, yes. Anybody in the pizza business knows Buddy LaRosa.
And that is where? What city was that in?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep. And so
Yeah.
he got you started.
Yeah.
And you found out you liked it a little bit.
Yes. So once again, you have to make a living and raise a family, but my love of pizza always continued. And I couldn't get away from pizza. So Friday night in our house was pizza night, when we had young kids.
Yeah.
But from there, it went to, they became teenagers, and it was Friday night with 10 kids.
Yep.
From there, it grew to building relationships at a factory we owned. We owned Sure-So Gasket in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And as engagement, everything I did was based on pizza. And so, if we had to work late to get an order out, you better believe it, that we would order pizza in.
Sure.
Yeah. And going back, I was dyslexic, and they believed I was dyslexic. So I had a very hard time reading, and could barely read when I got out of high school. But what I did, I was off the chart visual. So whenever I saw something taking place, I was able to capture it in my mind. I didn't have to turn on the recorder like a video.
Yeah.
My mind was a recorder.
Sure.
And LaRosa's now, I'm sure they use a frozen lasagna.
Yep.
But I would make the lasagna in the back room, on Thursday before the event, and I know I'm using their same recipe because it's how I made it. So I captured these old world recipes, and I'm still using them in our modern day place.
So what was the jump? How did you go from Gaskets to owning a pizza place? Okay,
well, the gasket company, we had 150, 200 employees.
Yep.
Stressful, and you had to take time off. Whenever we traveled, we didn't go to the beach and get our sand between our toes. We went to food on food vacations, and we'd go on 10-day cruises to Italy and study pizza. And our very first adventure was up to King Arthur Flour. They opened up a brand new bakery, and we did a course up there. And yes, it was all about bread, but believe it or not, they showed us how to make pizza dough up there.
Absolutely. I mean, bread bakers are pizza makers, and pizza makers can be bread bakers. Absolutely. Same skill set.
And the one I remember about King Arthur, they were up there, but the guy had a mask on, and he loved making the flour and that, but he was allergic to the flour.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yes, we traveled, and making pizzas was my passion, but you had another job. What we did for our 25th wedding anniversary, we were planning our biggest pizza expedition ever. And I bought a pizza oven from out in California. And what's the name, Jenny? Mugiani. And it's an Italian pizza oven from Italy.
Yep.
And when I bought it, you could also get a course over in Italy with it.
Sure.
And we booked it a year ahead of time, was getting ready to go on this trip, just ready. And about a month before, the lady called and said, Mick, I got bad news. There's not enough people signed up, and the course was canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, so she said, and I was depressed, but hold on. I got something worked out for you. I called another lady that does food trips to Italy, and her name is Peggy Markel.
Yep.
And she's real big in the slow food movement in the United States. And she says she has a course going. It's a 10-day course that it's all based on Italian food, and it starts in Florence, Italy. And if you call her, she'll set you up.
Yep.
I called her, and it's almost like talking to you. I can tell that we're going to be connected elsewhere. I called up her, and she is still one of my best friends. And she said, yes, and we got room for you, and we can fit you in. And we went over there for our anniversary. So it was our 25th wedding anniversary. And I think it actually worked on the same date. So it was the first day of summer, June 21st or something.
Yep. Fantastic.
But she goes, Mick, I got one problem. And I go, what is it? She goes, there's 11 ladies going, and you're the only man. And so we flew to Florence, and we got in about 2:00 in the morning, never been to Italy, and we're doing 80 miles an hour. And she set us up in a hotel, and it looked like a back alley. We got out of the car at 2:00 in the morning and knocked on the door and couldn't get in the hotel. We were scared to death, thought we were in the dungeons, and somebody finally let us in. And we woke up and looked out the window, and there was a line of people outside the window, and it's where the statue of David was.
Oh, wow.
So we thought we were in the bad part of Italy, but we were probably in the best part of Italy.
Yep.
In Florence. But so we over there, and just, I really it was all, you'd go to the markets, and then you'd come back and cook the food, and I got all the leftovers. So,
sure.
So I'm still trying to lose that weight from that event, 20 years later here.
Yeah.
It really filled me up. But Peggy was a very, very big influence. And, and I was dreaming, I wanted to open up a restaurant, and she sat down and talked to me and says, pizzas are a great tool, but worry about saving your own culture. Italy is already saved.
Sure.
And, use pizza as a tool. And she goes, where do you live? And we're from a German area, and Appalachian music's beautiful. She said, you hit it on the head. Save your culture, get in there and save that Appalachian music so it doesn't get lost. And so I knew I was getting ready to retire, and we sold the business. And one model that I learned was I love the piazzas in Italy.
Yes.
Where the people gather and they go and get a slice of pizza.
Yeah,
or go and get a cup of coffee. But don't get me wrong, there was a lot of pizza there, but there was a lot of sweets there too,
sure.
Good pastry and that. But I loved them. And I found out that they called them a third place.
Yes.
And there's a book about third place. And I really, really studied it. And it's Ray Oldenburg. And it's a great book if you ever want to know how to work with people.
Okay.
But the third place model, can I share that with you?
Please do.
The third place model is, first place is family. You got to take care of your family no matter what you're doing. Second place is you got to work. You got to bring money home for your family or yourself, whatever, but you got to make a living.
Yes.
If you're not happy there, stop what you're doing, pack your bags, and do something that's fun.
Yep.
I worked in a factory for 40 years, loved it, but boy, 40 years goes quick. And so I really encourage you to, find something you like to do. Third place in Italy, it's these piazzas. It's a gathering spot. You go home and you want to get out and just be with family and friends. And so they get out there and they meet. In US, really after World War II, a lot of these third places were destroyed, and they started moving to the suburbs, and people lived out, and there was no more communities.
Sure.
So these third places were destroyed. And as a young boy, two of my communities were destroyed by the growth of the city. My mom took me to where my grandfather was, and it was destroyed by a shopping mall, the growth of a shopping mall.
Yep.
I left it. I was 9 years old. But then about 10 years later, my mom took me to where she was born, and they were tearing that down for a highway. And I loved it. But after I got older, I realized what I was doing. I was searching for community. And third place is a place to gather. I didn't want to live in a subdivision. The third place can be a fire department for volunteer firemen. It can be a card game at the VFW hall. It could be a library. It could be a church. But I really went back to the Italian way and created a restaurant with Peggy Markle's help that was a third place for the community.
Wow. And that's the name of the restaurant. That's the name of the pizzeria. Third place. And
to cut labor, I did wood-fired pizza, but what I did different was I wanted this to be a gathering spot, and we made a pizza buffet. So we put these wood-fired pizzas over, and the prices are going up. It was $12. It might be $15 now. Come in, but the people come and sit all evening.
Yep.
A normal restaurant, they'll come in there, and you'll order a pizza and a lasagna, and you'll sit there and eat, and they'll rush you out there to get the table turned so they can get somebody else down there.
Yep.
A lot of people show up at 4 or 5 o'clock, have a beer. They pay the $15, and they usually stay until we close at 9, 10, or 11.
Wow.
And the kids can run. But with this money, they can just go up and get a slice of pizza, and then we'll make a dessert pizza. And they did that in Italy. They would yell out, ravioli's up now, and everybody go up and get it. So it's a family atmosphere where late in the night we'll make an apple pie pizza, and they, we'll have a piece of that before they go out. So they pay ahead of time, but then it's just like sitting in your grandma's.
Yep. And you encourage that. And I'm sure that you encourage that. People feel comfortable. They just want to hang out. They want to be part of the third place, which is fantastic.
And they took off with it. And I wanted it, I built it for myself because I wanted a place to hang out. And we got rules in there. They're really hard rules to follow too. You can't talk about sex, politics, or religion. And with this, this last political season got ugly.
I bet.
And it's sad to see what our world has come to in the world of politics. But I know we had Democrats and Republicans sitting in there playing euchre together, and not a word was said.
Yep. And I agree with you. I mean, to me, pizza cuts across all culture, religion, sex, everything. There is no, there is no prejudice with pizza. Pizza is all inclusive. And it sounds like the third place is that kind of place, man. I'm ready to go. Invite me.
And Peggy Markle also said, everything we did was at community tables, had a bottle of wine on there, a glass of water.
Sure.
Because if you're going to open up a restaurant, have a community table. And you really don't see that much anymore.
No.
But we had a stone basement, and we call it the Bourbon Bar. But we're on Route 52. It's a state route in Indiana. And it was the main route between Cincinnati and Chicago. But it got passed by. So our town, the highway went through in the 60s and left our town behind.
Yep.
And me and Jenny are fortunate, and we are investing in the town to bring it back.
Okay.
But
how big is that town, Mick? How many
2,200 people.
That's tiny. That's a little spot town.
We're in rural Indiana, and it's the second oldest town in Indiana. It's built in. It was plotted in 1808, and I didn't. And before that, 1795, Tecumseh was there and signed a treaty for the Greenville Treaty. So everybody knows the Indian chief Tecumseh.
Wow, everybody knows Tecumseh. Boy, that's for sure.
So right behind us, we got a Tecumseh landing. So we're in the hills of Indiana, and the history has been saved there.
Yeah.
But going down to this table that she told me to build, it's down in the bottom, and we're only 50 miles away from Kentucky bourbon. So we're near the bourbon.
You're near the line there. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the corn for bourbon comes from Indiana, so we're tied in with this bourbon stuff pretty heavy. I created a bourbon bar downstairs, and I put a table down there, a grand table, and I made it fit. It's called Table 52. It's for Route 52, and it holds 52 people. and we do this. If you rent that room and want to have a dinner down there, it's an Italian dinner, and it's really the main place for rehearsal dinners in our South Indiana. And we do it all family style. We got a bar down there to get a bourbon or beer, but all the pizzas just go on the table and you pass it around and share it. We put a salad on the table. Everybody has to share it. You have to pass the food, and you got to talk to your neighbor. It's hard to believe, but you
love it. Yeah, no, family style. That's how Sunday dinners. That's how we ate. Yeah.
If you want more, you got to ask for it.
That's right. Or you go hungry. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
So right now we're making 300 or 400. We're making average 300, but now we're jumping up to 400 pizzas a week. Yep. And we're only open on Wednesday for lunch because they're a great big flea market.
Yep.
Thursday night is community night, and that's a great new thing. Families are so busy on Friday and Saturday nights with the grandkids.
Yeah.
They got to go to basketball games and that. We started Thursday night, and it's a night for just you and your wife to get out and come and hang out with no kids. So
cool.
Nice. And we play euchre. So Thursday night is community night. And then Friday night we have live music every night. And Saturday we're open for the tourists to come in, but it's then we're usually turns into an event.
Yeah.
We hold about 150 events a year. Everything from the prom that'll have 300 people down to a wedding of 10 people.
Yep. Boy, that sounds fantastic.
Can I tell you about our smallest wedding?
Please do.
Oh my God. I thought it was a rehearsal dinner.
Somebody
with young family.
It was a young family and probably didn't have much money, and so we let everybody come in. But she called, "Oh, are you open tonight?" And I go, "Yes." She goes, "Oh, we got a small wedding and we're going to come over." And yeah, I said, "We can fit you in." And
we thought it was a rehearsal dinner.
We really didn't know what was going on, but about 10 people. This lady showed up in a wedding dress.
No.
and her husband was with her, and the priest was there. Everybody paid for the buffet, $12 each. The priest even paid for his own meal. Came in and back and sat and had a beautiful ceremony, and it cost I think it's the cheapest wedding I ever seen.
No, oh wow! Oh, they got married right in the restaurant.
No, they got married across the street, and they came here. And the bride and groom spent $24 on the meal, but we treated them. We rolled out the red carpets and treated them.
Sure, of course.
They had to buy their own.
Yeah, they had to buy their own.
I had to go down there and
so this wedding cost under $50, so you can have it still the wedding in third place for $50 and have a good time.
No kidding. That's great. That's truly serving the community. That is fantastic.
And they didn't feel bad about it. They loved it.
And where are we going with this pizza place? Do you have plans? Is there a exit plan?
Our next plan is, in two things. We started with wood fired. We had a little oven, couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So then we built a brick and mortar, and we cook all handcrafted pizzas in ovens that go up to 800 degrees.
Sure.
So we started the brick and mortar. Where we're going, this has become so much a part of the community that me and my wife we applied for to make it a nonprofit organization, so it lives on forever.
Yep.
And we hope it's helping our culture here, but we also wanted to help the music culture. Where the Appalachian music and local music, they come in there on Friday, so there'll be a music venue where you can come and the first time play music and become a star in the future. Sure.
No, that
we did about a brand new oven from Fire Within, and there has been such a demand, and they want us to get back on the road. And it's hard for us because we're so busy, but we are working at getting our pizza oven back on the road.
Okay. And so the fire within helped you out with the actual oven.
It's
And-
a truck, it's a wood truck.
And then we do not have, we take care of our employees, we take care of our customers. And I tell all our employees, we are not in the business of making pizzas. We're in the reaction. We want everybody to have a good time. We're in the entertainment business. We got an open kitchen, and they want to see us, make a pizza. They want to see us dump sauce on the floor if we make a mistake.
Sure. No kidding. So
if we drop a meatball, they say, on top of old meatball.
Yeah. So, which I love about it. And I've seen some pizzerias, they close everything off. They don't want you to watch them making pizzas. You invite people in. Here's how we do it. Here's how we stretch the dough. Here's what we put ingredients on. We're cooking the pizza and straight to you. I love that. Yeah. That is just fantastic.
And what type of pizza do we make, Jenny? The Neapolitan?
I call it American Neapolitan.
American Neapolitan. And you hand stretch them, but our customers really want to see you toss them up in the air.
Sure.
But our dough really is not made to toss up in the air.
I can't.
My kid does.
But we'll get a dough going and we'll toss it all around the restaurant until it drops on the floor.
Sure. Yeah. I just can't toss. But that's fantastic. I just think it's phenomenal that you not only have a business, you're leaving a legacy. You want the business to go beyond you and your wife, as to go with that nonprofit. That is certainly amazing. I just love that. That is just so wonderful. And, as you said, you're sharing the culture, you're sharing the Appalachian music, you're sharing your own Indiana culture, which makes Indiana, every town has their own culture, and you're bringing that and making that part of your pizzeria. That is just incredible.
Yeah. And I don't know if you knew, did you ever hear Indiana, the Hoosier state? The
Hoosier state. What is a Hoosier? Tell me.
It's Hoosier Hospitality.
Okay.
And nobody, it was really back to the wagon days. They believed, you'd be going down the road in a covered wagon or something, and they had a little slang in them, and they would say, "Who's there?" So who's there at the door? Hoosier. So it turned into Hoosier Hospitality. They wanted to know who it was, but they were welcoming you.
Is that are you pulling my leg, Mick, or is that really true?
That's what they say.
Oh man, that's cool. I never knew that.
So the Hoosier Hospitality, and at third place, there's you're greeted at the door, and if you don't know what's going on, we walk you and we explain what's going on, and we make if you come back a third time, we say you like it enough that you're a third place member.
Yep.
But we make them feel at home, and you can read them if they don't want to. If they don't want to be bothered, the world of dating right now, these dating.com.
Yeah.
You can tell that somebody will go and sit in the corner, and all of a sudden somebody will come and look around, and it'll be their blind date. It's a new thing for restaurants.
Sure.
You know what people to bother and what people not to.
Sure.
We can leave you go. You can come and have a private time, but if you're coming with a smile on your face and you're looking for a great experience, you're going to get it there.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And it's more than just pizza. It is pizza. I know you serve other food there as well, but the pizza is, kind of like a calling card for everybody. And it knows no religion or race or anything. It's universal. And I love that. That is just fantastic.
Yeah. So and the pizza, they tell you to say, you got to work on your own culture. And we're from Germany. It's a very German community. Yeah. And we have the best sauerkraut sausage pizza you ever had in the world.
I bet. No.
And right now I have been brining my corned beef for 6 weeks. And, tomorrow night we're in March here. I'll have a corned beef pizza
for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
There you go. Hey, let me ask you real quick. What advice would you have for someone that wants to get in the pizza business?
Okay, and let's start with there's big competition out there in the pizza world.
Sure.
And don't try competing against them because you're not going to win. I don't know how these people make $5 pizzas, this and that. But if you're a young couple wanting to get in the pizza business,
Yep.
the wood-fired oven, and you can find them new and used. You can have an investment of $7,000 or $100,000.
Yes.
If you want to get started, and so it's going to be in addition to your own wages that you're making in the factory.
Sure.
I wish healthcare was free in this country so that you could do what you want. But now you need a job with healthcare.
Absolutely.
But for a second job, a wood-fired pizza, you can make the doughs on a Friday night. You got to watch the health codes and that. But you can make good money for a side job. You and your wife, you and your girlfriend, two brothers or a family. You can go out and to the county fair and sell 200 pizzas on the weekend, or a bachelor party and sell 50 pizzas. And
Yep.
without the overhead, you can really round up some cash quick.
Okay.
And it'll make it fun. And those places where you can, YouTube, all the guidelines there. In
Yeah.
fact, he has a.
Yeah, we're talking. I'm
he has
sorry.
a book.
Yeah, I don't mean to correct you, but you're talking about wood-fired university, right?
Yeah, wood-fired,
Fire-
and I apologize.
no
Wood-fired.
problem. Yep.
Yeah, and thank you. And he has a book out that's called Making the Dough.
Making the dough. I have a copy of that.
Rolling
Yeah,
the
that is a
dough.
Rolling
great
in the
book.
dough.
Rolling the
the
dough.
dough.
That's right. Rolling the dough.
And I tell you what, you don't think you need a book like that, but it taught you, how to do the pricing on the doughs, and
Yep.
it gives you a price where to.
Yes.
It's probably a 150-page book on how to run a pizza business.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty inclusive. That's true.
And
And I
I
if you go
apologize for.
right, if you go through, you've gone through wood-fired university. Have you gone there?
Yes,
Gone through the
I've
class?
gone there,
So-
me and my wife, and we send, whenever we get a manager, we send them through. So I
Yep.
have sent 4 people through it now.
Yep. Okay, that's great.
And you
Well
think
worth
you
it.
learn all the ropes, I don't call my people managers. You manage processes. You don't, so I call them leaders. You lead people, you manage processes. So I send my leaders out there, if that makes sense.
Wow.
I hate
Yes,
the
it
word
does.
management.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
so
great.
I send my leaders out there because they're not managing people, they're leading people.
Yes.
But I send them out there and they go, Mick, we've been working with you for 2-3 years. What are we going to learn out there? And they go out there and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's good for them to hear from somebody else. But so
Absolutely.
I tell you what, and I really think, and I'm not, Fire Within is a great, great company, and you can start out from scratch. But if you want to start out without making any mistakes, I'm not sure what the cost is, $1,500, $2,000. It's
Yep.
worth whatever you put into it.
Yeah, exactly. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your own skill set. I think the amazing thing is that you're surrounded by other people taking class just like you. And, the teachers there, the instructors have gone through it many times before. And so they're able to take you through that whole
And then
thing.
you're building a network. We still know the people that we went to school with or took class with. Last year we were on the East Coast and went to see where the Wright brothers flew the first airplane.
Yep.
And,
Oh, wow.
and one of the guys was from there. We rode down to his pizza parlor. He wasn't open, but we were checking in on one of our classmates, and he wasn't open. We did, but you build friendships there too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I thank you so much for spending time to talk to me. I want to ask you how people can find you. Where is your pizzeria located?
Okay, we're in southeastern Indiana, 35 miles out of Cincinnati, 60 miles out of Indianapolis, and we're on Brookville Lake. And our website, so if you're ever traveling and you got a boat on a big lake, come see us. But Brookville, Brookville is the town. But we are called thirdplacebrookville.com.
Third place. And it's is it Third Place Pizzeria?
Yeah.
Just
third
third-
place. No, the place is just called Third Place.
third
Event Center.
place. That's it. Third
Yes.
place, because it is the third place. That's a great.
Yes.
I love that. That is great.
And my name's
That's
Mick.
fantastic.
It's not Nick. I always say my name's Mick, like Mickey Mouse. So if you're in the area, just ask where Mick is with a pizza
All right.
parlor, and they'll find it for you.
I love it though. Family, your work, and the third place, and that's where
Yes.
your comfort is. Where you're really where the community is. That's the third
Yeah.
place.
And I'm going to tell you something here. If you're going to open up a pizza parlor, anything,
Yep.
passion most time it's money and then passion. If you switch it around, passion and money, the money will come
Okay.
because
I
you're
love
doing
that.
something you want. So
I love that.
put the passion first and the money will come.
Yeah. Thank you. I love what you're doing, and thank you so much for taking time to share your story with me, and I'll share it with everyone else.
Okay. Thanks a lot. And our paths will cross here.
Absolutely. Oh, we will. We'll meet again. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.